Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as reported by Bukhari, he drew a square in the sand. He drew a square in the sand. And then he drew a line going beyond that square. So he drew a square in the sand, and then he drew a line that was going through it. And then he says, the line, that long line that was going through it, he says, هَذَا أَمَلُ ibn Adam. He says, this is the amal, the hope of the son of Adam. That's your hope. Your hope is a long life. And then he cut through that line. And he said, وَهَذَا أَجَلُهُ. And this is your lifespan. There's nobody except that their lifespan cuts short their hopes. There's nobody who goes into their grave without something that they still wanted to do. Something that they wanted to resolve. An action that they wanted to present. An act of worship that they wanted to do. And so chasing and being aware of the urgency of life is from the characteristics of the believer. Al-Ghazali, he said that false expectation is caused by two things: ignorance and love of the dunya. As for ignorance, it's because you assume that you have some sort of immunity to death. That it's something that's for some reason or other won't touch you. Even though you've known people who've died since you've known life, in primary school, secondary school, college, university. And as for the love of the dunya, he says, if they seek it and love it and are attached to it, it becomes heavy on their heart to be separated from it. One of the khulafa, he asked Abu Hazim, and he said to him, لِمَ نَكْرَهُ الْمَوْتِ. And he said, لأنكم خربتم الدنيا وعمرتم الآخرة فتكرهون الذهاب من العمران إلى الخراب. He asked him and he said, why do we hate death? He said, because you have invested in the dunya and you've destroyed your hereafter. And so you hate to go from that which is built up to that which is destroyed. Anytime students are graduating from university, you'll always see the ones who have their job career lined up and the ones who worked really hard in school and they've already got an offer. They're so excited to be graduating because what they're expecting post-graduation is better than everything that they've done so far. What they're expecting of relationships, what they're expecting of adventure, what they're expecting of living on their own, what they're expecting of family, what they're expecting of travel, what they're expecting of actually being paid for their work, all of this is so exciting. But it is only because they're graduating to that which is better. And so when a person invests in the hereafter, then inshallah ta'ala, when the angel of death comes, they might be like Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiallahu anhu, who says, marhaban bil maut. I've been waiting for you. And he says, I don't want to stay in the dunya for the planting of trees or the building of palaces. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, this is high level. This is a person who the dunya is completely removed from his heart. He's 30-something years old, radiallahu anhu. He has a family, he has all of these things. But he said, the only reason why I want to stay in the dunya is to fast difficult days and to pray long nights and to race with my knees to the knees of scholars, to continue to seek knowledge, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the only reason that I want to stay. But the love of the dunya. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to remove the love of the dunya from our heart and to make us of those who the best of our days is our last days and the best of our moments is the day that we meet Allah. أقول ما سمعتم